This is the story of the three little pigs. There were three little pigs. Their names were Pokey, Lazy, and Will. And they all lived at home with their mom and dad. But one day, Mom and Dad decided it was time for the little pigs to find a home of their own and to go their separate ways. I'm sure this Mama Pig was not so happy. She probably cried a tear or two because she probably didn't really want to see her little babies go away. But she knew it was time for them to grow up and to be on their own. Just like this morning, my husband and I were sitting on our front porch and we've been watching bluebirds go in and feed their baby birds every day. They would go several times a day. We could see the worm hanging out of their mouth. But you know what happened this morning? That mom and dad bird decided it was time for them little birds to go out on their own. So they flew out of the house this morning and we got to see them. It was so much fun. Well, that's probably sort of the way that it was when these little pigs got sent on their way. That mom and dad was probably glad to have their space maybe, but they were not glad to see their babies go. So they told them to go their separate ways and they all went their own direction. And remember, we have one named Pokey, and he decided that he would build his house of straw. Pokey didn't like to work, and he just liked to have fun and play. So he gathered him up some straw, and he decided he would build his house. And he didn't care what it looked like. He just wanted to hurry up and get done. So he hurried up and he threw his house together and he just went around singing, "Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? La, 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 la." So he played all day and he sang and he danced around. And he decided that he would get in his house all safe for the night. But his brother, remember, he was lazy. He was so lazy that he didn't care what his house looked like. He just wanted to hurry up because he was like his brother. He just wanted to play and sing and have a good time. And he just went around singing, "Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? La, 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 la." Well, when he got done, he decided he would get in his house and he would be all safe and fine. It didn't matter that his house didn't look too good or he didn't take much time. Who cares? He just wanted to have a good time. But then they had the brother named Will. And Will was a hard worker. And he wanted to do what he did and do it well. He took his time and he worked really hard. It took him a lot longer to make his house than it did his two brothers. But he knew that if he worked hard, it would pay off. So they all got their houses built and they all were all snug in their homes. But one day, here comes the big bad wolf, just like Mom had warned them. And he come to the door and he, little pig, let me come in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed and he puffed and he blew the little house down. The poor little piggy, he thought, "I'm going to get away from that wolf and I'm going to go to my brother's house." So he went to his brother's house that was made of sticks. So he goes and gets in the house. And guess what? The wolf knew where to go. He went to the little brother's house that had been made of sticks. And he thought, "I'm going to blow this house down." So he came to the door. "Little pigs, let me come in." "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed and he puffed and he blew their house down. So they went running to their brother's house because they knew that now they were in real trouble the wolf was after them, and their houses had been destroyed. So now they go to the house that's made of brick, where Will had worked so hard. And he bricked his house, and he spent a lot of time trying to get it really good and just right, because he liked to work and do things right. So they all were in Will's house, and they thought, finally, we're safe. But guess who came to the door? Not again. Oh, yes, he did. And the wolf came to the door, and he, little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. And the little pigs had a bright idea. They decided that they would have something waiting for the big bad wolf. Because since he couldn't get in the door, he decided that he would go up the chimney. So he goes up the chimney, and he comes down, and there's a big pot of boiling water, and he falls in it. And he goes running away, and he never bothers those little pigs ever again. And that's the end of the story. But what can we learn from the three little pigs? Number one, that what we do, we should do our very best, because in the end, it will pay off. And number two, we should never mess around and play around when we're supposed to be doing a task. We should do our very best. And it paid off for Will. And those other two little pigs, they didn't do their best, but they sure were glad their big brother did. So when you do your schoolwork, or if you're doing a chore for mom or dad at home, do your very best. Everybody have a good day.